Sometimes, the people who claim to love you the most are the ones who chain you down the hardest. For years, I sacrificed everything to keep my family afloat, my money, my time, my peace of mind. And yet, I was never the one they praised, never the one they cherished. They reserved that honor for my brother, the golden child, who showed up twice a year and left with arms full of gifts. I stayed. I paid the bills. I kept the lights on. And still, it was never enough. But everything changed the day my father handed me a box of car parts without so much as a thank you, praising my absent brother for a shiny new car. In that moment, I realized it was never going to change unless I made it change. This is the story of how I walked away from a lifetime of obligation and finally found freedom. It wasn't dramatic. There were no screaming matches, no ultimatums. Just a simple shrug, a smile that wasn't polite, and a single sentence that shattered years of silent endurance. Cool, then he can pay your bills this month. Maybe my father realized something had shifted. Maybe not. Either way, he turned and walked back inside, leaving me outside with the boxes in my hands. That night, while they watched TV and celebrated my brother's latest performance of affection, I sat at my computer and quietly untangled myself from their lives. Every bill, every automatic payment, every service tied to my name. One by one, I pulled the cords that kept them connected to me. The water bill? Gone. The electricity? Gone. The gas, the internet, all gone. I canceled the autopays, sent disconnection notices where necessary, and packed a single bag. Laptop, important documents, a few clothes. By sunrise, I was out of the house. No slammed doors. No tears. Just the clean, heavy silence of a final goodbye. The first calls came before noon. Panicked voicemails, frantic texts. Why is the internet down? Why is there no water pressure? Did you forget to pay the bills? They didn't ask. They demanded. Because that's what they had always done, assumed that I would fix it. When the anger followed the confusion, I silenced my phone. I could almost see my father pacing, red-faced, barking orders into the air as if it would conjure me back. But I was already gone. My brother, the shining star, was next. Dad called him, expecting him to swoop in and fix everything the way I always had. But my brother? He was only around for the applause. Without a crowd to impress, he wasn't going to lift a finger. He made vague promises about maybe next week, and then disappeared, just like always. They were stunned, confused. They had built their whole world on the illusion that I would always be there. Now, with the illusion shattered, they were left flailing. Meanwhile, I was sitting on a friend's couch, sipping coffee, and breathing freely for the first time in years. At first, the guilt gnawed at me. Years of conditioning don't just vanish overnight. I had been the fixer, the responsible one, the one who canceled vacations and let friendships die because my parents needed me. But every time I felt the old guilt creeping back, I reminded myself, love without respect isn't love. Sacrifice without gratitude isn't noble, it's exploitation. Over the next few days, the attacks escalated. My aunts, my uncles, family friends, all chiming in, demanding to know how I could abandon my parents. But I hadn't abandoned them. I had abandoned a system built on using me. Every step I took away from them, shutting down the joint account, removing my name from their emergency contacts, closing doors they had wedged open, felt like regaining a piece of myself. The final message from my mother arrived late one night. Please come home. We need you. Not your brother. You. For a moment, I hesitated. But then, I placed my phone face down and walked away. Their emergencies were no longer my emergencies. Their failures were no longer my responsibilities. I had chosen myself. The months that followed weren't easy, but they were mine. I moved into a small apartment, modest, but peaceful. I cooked meals for myself, decorated however I wanted, paid bills that belonged only to me. And for the first time, I had money left over. Time left over. A life left over. One afternoon at the grocery store, an old family friend looked at me with thinly veiled disgust. Is it true you abandoned your parents? She asked. I looked her dead in the eye and said, I didn't abandon anyone. I just stopped abandoning myself. The world may judge. They may whisper, gossip, speculate. But none of them carried the weight I carried. None of them bled the way I bled. Walking away wasn't about revenge. It was about survival. It was about choosing a future that was mine, not built around patching the holes my family refused to fix themselves. And when, months later, my parents finally sent one last text, simple, without demands, "We hope you are well. We miss you," I didn't reply. Not out of hatred, but out of love, for myself. Because some doors, once closed, should never be reopened. If you found strength in this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs to hear they are not alone. On Family Lies and Revenge, we bring you real stories of courage, betrayal, and taking back your power. New videos every week. See you in the next one.